We have a part 2. We got lots of updates on I hired a private investigator to follow my cheating life. This story is nuts. We left off where he was going to be serving her the papers the very next day. This update came February 22nd, 2025, which was 5 days later than the last update. If you missed the first video, you're gonna wanna watch it. It's gonna be, is it this side? I think it's this side. All right, I left Emily. We got the divorce papers, summons, petition, standing orders, etc. The PI, acting in his capacity as a process server, wore a body cam for obvious professional reasons, and I was able to look at the footage when he came by my hotel room later on in the afternoon. The PI walked up to Emily, who was sitting at her station and chatting with the other stylists who work for her. He showed her an envelope and told her he had legal documents for her and she had been served. Emily, of course, looked shocked and confused and just stared at him, gobsmacked. The PI clarified that the envelope contained legal documents regarding a divorce case filed against her and told her she should review them and contact her attorney. That's a bad day at work. Then he dropped the documents at her feet with a satisfying slap as they hit the ground since she refused to take them and told her she is still being served. He then told her to have a nice day. I could hear her hyperventilating as the PI left. I was at home, and after the PI called and said he was heading to serve her, I called Emily's dad. Since my mom died, I had probably unwisely been treating her mom, my mother-in-law, like a mother. I just couldn't talk to her. I told Emily's dad about the divorce. I tried to keep it very simple and quick. Emily cheated on me. We're getting a divorce. I'll send you an email shortly with evidence of the affair. I stressed that Emily has been served divorce papers today, so she would absolutely need their support and they should head over to our house immediately. Emily's dad acknowledged that and said that he hoped we could find a way through this and that it would be a shame to break up our family. I guess Emily's mom was nearby and overheard because she took the phone from him, put it on speaker, and asked if this is true. I explained to her about the cheating and the email with the evidence that they will receive. She started crying and apologizing to me. Since this thing started, she was the first person close to me who apologized to me. I was reminded of my mother, who always would comfort me when I was down, and I just broke, y'all. I started tearing up and I croaked out and I said, I have to go, and I hung up on her while she was saying, no, wait. I had packed up my work laptops and got a lot of my clothes into large suitcases. On the advice of my attorney, I took down the cameras in the bathrooms and bedrooms when I left. Yeah, I don't think I knew that you had cameras in those places. But the cameras in the common areas can remain because my dad is the owner of the house. I packed up the cameras in my suitcases too. My lawyer sent the subpoena to the credit card company on Monday when I pulled trigger on my marriage. I wrote an email to Emily's dad and sister and to some mutual friends who know both of us, including Bev's husband. It said, I never thought I'd be writing this, but after everything that's happened, I don't see any other choice. I wanted you to hear it from me directly so that there is no confusion or misinformation. Emily has been having an affair with a man named John, and his last name. I have evidence, emails, financial records, and an investigation that confirms it. I think we all knew that her bracelet gift from Santa was not from a client because the client would have identified themselves by name, and clients don't know her parents' address. She has been meeting John and hiding it from me for months. I know this is painful to hear, and trust me, it's even more painful to write. But I didn't want you to be blindsided by all of this later. I'm attaching a few things to this email that'll make it clear what's been going on and to head off any of your concerns about the truth of my statements. I know this is shocking and I don't expect you to take sides. I just want you to have the truth. I love Emily, but she has broken our marriage beyond repair and I have no choice but to move forward with a divorce. And then all of their names. Thank you for being like a second family to me. I will miss all of you. I want to know the responses. I'm nosy. I wrote a similar email to John's wife. How did you get her email? Oh, PI probably, maybe. I wrote a similar email to John's wife and gave her my attorney's name and number if she wanted to go see the physical evidence herself. It would have to be in my lawyer's office. Personally, I think my lawyer is going to try to get John's wife to give her a retainer. I also sent a group text for them to check their emails, except for John's wife because I don't know her number. Then I blocked Emily's family. To the email, I attached a photo of John and Emily kissing goodbye in the hotel parking lot and a photo of contents of John's Valentine's Day card to Emily. It was explicit. Finally, I had a link to the recording of Emily saying that I didn't abuse or cheat on her. I just wanted to head that BS off ahead of time. I texted this to Bev's husband. Hey, I need to tell you something, and I hate being the one to do this, but you deserve to know. Emily didn't cheat on me alone. She had support, she had help covering it up, and unfortunately, that help came from Bev. I don't know if you were aware, but Bev knew about the affair the entire time. She didn't just know about it, she encouraged it. She helped Emily justify it, she helped her keep it from me, and she even made excuses for her when she started feeling guilty about it. I have proof, and I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't. I'm not asking you to believe me blindly, but I think you should ask Bev some direct questions. Watch how she answers, watch her reaction. I'm sorry, man. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but I couldn't sit back and let you stay in the dark. Believe me or don't believe me, either way, my conscience is clear. Do you guys think he had a right to do this with Bev's husband? Do I think Bev should be encouraging her friend to cheat? No, wouldn't be me. I can't imagine her husband having a big reaction to that. Would you? If you found out your husband or wife was encouraging their friend to cheat, how would you feel about that? Because would that make you feel like, well, if you're encouraging it, would you cheat? Interesting thought. I then left my wedding ring, a printed copy of the same photo of Emily and John at the hotel parking lot kissing, my lawyer's business card, and a note. Thanks for your help on this one, you guys. The note said, I hope your affair with John was worth our marriage. We are getting a divorce. Contact my lawyer if you have any questions or need to get in touch for arrangements regarding the divorce. Otherwise, get a lawyer and let's get this over with. If you are truly remorseful, then do me the courtesy of giving me the easiest, most generous divorce possible. I loved you and I could have forgiven almost anything except abject betrayal. I would have loved you for the rest of my life. Literally breaks my heart. I would have loved you for the rest. I can feel that. Physically, I can feel that. On my way out, I got a call from Emily that I ignored. I put my phone on silent and I dropped by the bank. I took out half our money from the various accounts we have, checking, emergency, vacation fund. I have already frozen my credit. When I got to the hotel, I canceled our shared credit cards. I made arrangements to freeze our joint investment account so that she couldn't withdraw money from them. They are in my name. Adultery subreddit pro tip. People, if you cheat, make financial arrangements ahead of time in case you get caught. Thanks for the tip. I then got a text from her. I left her on read because my lawyer told me if she confesses to the affair over text, we can use that as more evidence for the divorce. I'm responding to her texts here only because it is therapeutic to me. Messaging with the language and writing of her text because I'm paranoid. This is the condensed version of the past 12 hours or so. Here we go. What the F is this? Answer your phone. We need to talk right now. This was followed by a lot of texts demanding I call her and answer her calls. Then the text changed. So I presume she got home and read the note and saw that I left. She said, I don't know what you think you know, but I can explain everything. It's not what you think. Divorce? We love each other. We're supposed to work through this mistake. Look, I know I messed up, but don't do this. Don't leave me like this. I never stopped loving you. I never loved him. Then her tone changed later. She said, you're overreacting. You're acting like I never loved you, like I wasn't trying to fix things, but you wouldn't let me. I hate that. Then her parents showed up at the house. Whoo boy. After that comes a barrage of phone calls that I didn't answer. Her saying I turned her family against her and how could I do this to her? So this is how a marriage ends. No fanfare, no heroic deeds, just whining, crying, anger, and depression. I know this is totally all over the place. I keep second guessing myself if I did the right thing. I just changed my life today in a fundamental way. I'm wondering if it's a lateral move. I feel like I have these scars now, and the one who gave them to me is the one person in the world I trusted the most. I will never forgive her. Now I have to buck up and walk it off like a real man because feelings and tears are weak and a turnoff. I just want my mom. I don't know who started that whole thing because I hear that. I hate that. Who started that to make men feel that way? I think it makes you more of a man when you do share your feelings and you do cry. Crying is not a sign of weakness. And I hate that whole thing. Men can cry. They have feelings too. The next update came February 24th, 2 days later. A lot of you are wondering about Bev's husband. Bev's husband texted me back saying, "Thanks, man." I'm just hearing crickets. I don't know how exactly to interpret that, but I'm too tired to be invested in Bev's husband's marriage. I told him about his wife being a POS. What he does with that is on him. Good luck, buddy. Emily's mom texted me using Emily's phone. She wants me to unblock her. I ignored it. Several hours later, she asked me again and promised not to bring up Emily if I unblock her. So I unblocked mother-in-law's number. I texted her and told her I was still alive, had no plans to change the status, and that I will unblock her later so that we could talk. I told her in no uncertain terms that I only want to chat about me and her, but not Emily. I told her I need a break from all of this and I will unblock her later and to be patient, and I'll contact her again. Emily tried a "I'm sorry you're hurt" text, which wasn't very comforting. Hints from her text and the fact that her mom is using her phone to text me indicate that she is at her parents' house now. There was a long silence for several of hours, and finally, Emily texted me to check my email. When I went to my spam folder, and there it is. All right, we got the email. I'm going to be Emily, except I would never cheat. I keep thinking about how this can't be real. It just can't be over. How you can just shut me out like I was nothing to you. It's killing me. I don't even know how to start this because my mind is racing and nothing makes sense. I know I don't deserve a response, but please just read this. Please don't delete it. I just need you to hear me. I talked with my dad and sister-in-law's husband. I told them how I messed up. They said I was stupid, and they're right. I told them about how I never loved John and I always loved you, and they laughed and told me that that doesn't matter at all. I felt so stupid. I know you're done with me. I know I don't get to ask anything from you, but don't I at least deserve to explain, to look you in the eyes and tell you how sorry I am, to tell you I never stopped loving you? You think you know everything, but you don't. Yes, I messed up. I betrayed you in a way that I can't take back, but it wasn't because I didn't love you. I need you to know that it was never what you thought it was. It wasn't love. It wasn't even about sex. I was pressured and felt obligated. John didn't just walk into my life and sweep me off my feet. He inserted himself. He did so much for me and for my business. You know how much I was struggling, how close I was to losing everything. He was the one who helped me. He connected me with the right people. He helped me with my lease, my contracts, with vendors. He got me meetings I would have never gotten on my own. And I let myself believe that he was just being a mentor and that he just wanted to help me. I told myself it was just one time, that if I just gave in once, it would be enough, that he would stop pressing, but it wasn't enough. And I didn't know how to get out of it. I kept telling him no, but he always had a way of making me feel like I was being ungrateful. Like after everything he did for me, I was selfish for not giving him what he wanted. I hate myself for not shutting it down from the start, for being stupid, for letting it go on. I tried to stop it, but every time I pulled away, he reminded me of how much he helped me, how I wouldn't be where I am without him, how I would ruin everything if I had cut him off. So I kept making excuses. I told myself I had it under control. I thought I could handle it. And then Christmas happened, New Year's happened, and that's when I knew he wouldn't stop. That's when I knew I had to end it for good. I did end it, but by then it was all screwed up. I knew I had to tell you. I wanted to tell you. I knew that the second I told you, you would never look at me the same way again. That it would be ruined, and I just couldn't handle it. I know you at least suspected ever since you accused me at New Year's Eve. I just put my head down and I wanted it to all go away. So I kept putting it off and telling myself that I would find the right time. But there was never a right time, and now I've lost you anyway. I can't stop thinking about Charleston. Do you remember that stupid little bed and breakfast where you hated the coffee and we spent half an hour at a gas station just so you could get a normal cup of coffee? And we sat outside that little seafood shack by the water eating fried shrimp and laughing at seagulls trying to steal our food, and you were acting like a knight with your funny British voice, protecting my food and making me laugh. She's trying to bring up some happy memories in there. I know the trick. You want them to remember the good times. I don't expect anything. I don't expect you to take me back, but I also can't believe that you would just walk away without even talking to me. After everything, don't we deserve that much? I'll sign whatever you want. I'll give you whatever you want, but please don't just disappear. Don't pretend like I never mattered, because I know I did. I love you so much, I always have, and I'm terrified that I'll never get the chance to tell you that in person again. Signed, Emily. So, no mention of John's credit card, no mention of how the affair wasn't fun for her anymore, no mention of how she was supposed to be handling me. Maybe there is some truth to it, but she's downplaying her role in it all. It's like this was all happening to her and she wasn't an active participant. I mean, I feel sorry that she lost control or whatever, but it's not like she didn't have a choice. She chose to sleep with the guy because she felt obligated and he did her favors. I do want to know what you all think about it, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't make a difference ultimately. She is trying to change the narrative to the point where we are both victims instead of just me, and I think that is just messed up. All right, guys, give your opinion on the email. Put in the comments, email, and then your opinion, because we got opinions about the whole thing, I'm sure, by the end of this. Because we got some more updates. You bet your bottom dollar. Grab your beverage, though. We got to hydrate first. What's in your cup? Cheers. It's water in mine. Next update, March 4th, 2025, which was 7 days later. I'm going back to work on Monday. I think I'm just going to lay low and establish a new normal. Next week, I'll be moving over to my dad's friend's Airbnb remodel and helping out there in my spare time. That will be my home for the foreseeable future. Right now, we're waiting on the credit card records, and to my knowledge, Emily hasn't gotten a lawyer yet. My lawyer told me John's wife contacted her. She didn't get any more specific than that. Nothing from Bev and her husband. To answer the multiple questions here, the only overnights Emily had during the time period of her affair were when she visited her parents. 3 times. I verified it with them each time. Not because I was paranoid, but I just liked talking to my mother-in-law, and it was an excuse to talk with her. The 3rd time Emily went, she came down with the flu and mother-in-law took care of her for a couple of days. I called every day. I'm pretty convinced that she didn't do overnights with John. The closest she came was during New Year's Eve. I suppose mother-in-law could have aided her infidelity, but she's very religious and I don't believe she would do that. Not gonna lie, it would hurt a lot if she did. As far as news of Emily, I have no idea since I am no contact. Matt said his wife said that Emily is struggling and that's it. I checked the cameras and Emily seems to have moved out of the house. I believe she's with her parents currently. Next update, March 14th, 2025, 10 days later. And keep in mind, this is 3 months after the first post. 3 months. And there is still so much more to the story. A lot has happened, and I'll just go through it all in order. I don't have the credit card records. That's a new word. I don't have the credit card records yet, but my lawyer says that she successfully got a gag order so that Emily and John won't be notified of the subpoena until we get the records in our eager little hands. I expect a huge storm from Emily when she gets that news, trying to turn the narrative in any angle she can so that she doesn't come off as some crazy hooker. I really want to know the credit card records though. Like, can you CC me in all these emails? Like, that's how involved I want to be. I met with John's wife. I'll call her Lisa. She was devastated by all of this, but not surprised. She told me John cheated on her when she was pregnant with their third child. We got to talking about the sequence of events, especially towards the end where John got more and more invested in my wife. We talked about New Year's Eve, and Lisa said that she had taken their 3 kids to Orlando for the holidays, and John had come but then left early and wasn't there for New Year's Eve. Lisa said that John had FaceTimed her during the countdown, and she's 100% certain that he was at their house. She was so pissed to the point of tears. Oh, so that means that his wife was also at your house with John. She had someone check the Ring camera footage, and sure enough, there it is. There was John and Emily both arriving in John's car and him pulling her into the house. She didn't look very excited to be there, but she wasn't struggling either. Emily had driven her car on New Year's Eve, so I don't know what happened. I told Lisa at least Emily didn't get pregnant from the guy, and Lisa assured me that it wasn't possible, or at least not probable. After she caught him cheating after their 3rd kid, she demanded he get a vasectomy as part of the conditions of staying together, and she drove him to the appointment herself because she didn't trust him. Sounds like a healthy marriage. Let's stay together, but the terms, we get to snip your balls. Is that what they do? No, that's not what they do. Is it? What do we snip? Lisa has put my lawyer on retainer, so we're going to be divorce buddies, I guess. Lisa shared a bunch of stuff with me, which is basically more communications between John and Emily, where John begs her to see him and compliments her and tells her he bought a new outfit for her and wants to see her in it. The timeline of messages had her being friendly at first, but getting more and more cold over time. Poor John. I asked Lisa if she was aware of John's lingerie fetish, and she said she could probably open a resale store with just her stuff alone. Just to head off any comments, Lisa and I are kind of supporting each other through this, as we alone know what the other is going through. She asked me all kinds of questions about Emily. I tell her I don't know a thing about John. Sex is pretty much the furthest thing from my mind, and honestly, I don't think I could get it up for anyone who's been with John. I low-key hate the guy. Also, my lawyer told me to be very careful around Lisa because we're both going for an at-fault divorce, and us being physically close in any proximity could look like we're having an affair, which could count against both of us in our divorces. Always do what your lawyers tell you to do. I moved out of the residence hotel and into the Airbnb remodel. I unblocked my mother-in-law and we chatted a bit over text, just surface level stuff. She asked me to meet and promised that Emily would not be there. I wanted to see her, so I agreed to meet her in a remote spot. I told her that if Emily was there, I'd immediately leave and would cut her off forever. She agreed, and we met. I drove out to a public park a good distance from where the Airbnb is. She came, Emily was not there. She teared up when she saw me and said I look so thin. She took me to her car and unloaded a ton of groceries on me. Oh, that is seriously something Matt's mother would do. She was the sweetest soul. She bought me eggs, chicken, some steaks, homemade. Oh my God, I got emotional just saying that. Wow, I can't talk about her at all apparently. She bought me eggs, chicken, some steaks, homemade soup, homemade cookies, my favorite spinach casserole that she made, and a ton of fruit vegetables. We chatted some, and towards the end, she started doing that thing where you want to talk, but you know you can't. Lots of starts and stops as she was trying to find a loophole in my conditions. I felt sorry for her, so I told her we could talk about only one thing. I know I shouldn't have caved, but that is the reason I ghosted Emily. I cave around people who are so emotional like that. I just want them to feel okay and to be the person responsible for them feeling okay. The loophole she invoked was that she didn't want to talk about Emily. She wanted to talk about reconciliation. I told her what I wrote in these posts and comments. My marriage to Emily is over. Even if we were to get back together, which we won't, it will be over because we're different people now. I told my mother-in-law I have evidence that she's not privy to that will back up my claims, and that Emily knew what she was doing and she's not the victim in this. Mother-in-law was very interested in seeing it, and I told her she will when my lawyer says it is okay. I mentioned what I've said before about Emily being with John and then coming home and kissing me without brushing her disgusting mouth first. I think that hit home because mother-in-law looked mortified. I told her to get Emily into therapy so that she can try to fix whatever inside her caused her to do this terrible thing. That if she were able to fix that about herself and be loyal, she would make a great partner. She's only 28. She's very beautiful. She has no kids and a successful business. I told her that there were probably hordes of guys wanting to marry and have kids with Emily, and that mother-in-law could still count on having grandkids, but just not from me. Emily's family will probably get her a lawyer, and then Hurricane Emily will blow through my life for a bit until we are finally done with this. But we're not done yet. The next update came March 22nd, 8 days later. It has been a tough 3 days. We got the credit card records, and I went to my lawyer's office Wednesday afternoon as soon as they called me. Lisa arrived soon after I did. The bills were being charged to John's wedding venue business, so I guess that means Emily is technically his employee. At the beginning, there were charges for hotels and really nice restaurants. There's one local boutique hotel that's pretty expensive, and they seem to settle on that one mostly. That's the one they were caught at by the PI in the parking lot. The hotels and restaurants started out with one hotel stay every Friday and a couple of expensive restaurant charges every week. The hotel stays lined up with appointments with John in Emily's appointment book. I'm not so naive that I think they only did it in hotels though, so there was probably more. $500 for a couple of hours at the hotel though. There was a $1,000 hotel charge on New Year's Eve. But they were at his house on New Year's Eve. So did they do both? Why would you do that? Because he had to FaceTime his wife. Oh my God. He was like, I got you a hotel, baby girl. Let's go to the hotel and celebrate. But then he's like, I gotta go FaceTime my wife though for the countdown. Went home with Emily, FaceTimed his wife from home so she would never suspicion. Anyways, there's my theory. She didn't Uber that night though. There wasn't a charge for that on the card, so John probably gave her a lift. The thing that destroyed me was a charge for $174.61 at a local adult toy store. That's awkward. About 3 weeks after she first got the card. That's right. Early on, my wife and her affair partner went to the friendly neighborhood sex shop together. A good portion were business-related charges for her salon. John paid for our date nights. I guess this is what she meant by handling me. I remember Emily giving me gifts, but they were clothes and shoes, and I'm not a fashion guy, so I didn't know that they were expensive. When she gave them to me, she didn't make it out like it was a big deal. It was just, I got you some new shoes and clothes. Try it on for me. So he was buying you gifts technically? The charges tapered off in October. In December, the only charges other than hotel were presumably when she bought Christmas gifts for everyone. All in all, she racked up close to $30,000 on the card. She even paid a few of our utility bills with it. I mean, who was controlling who here? She was groomed and manipulated by him? It sounds to me like John was a complete sucker for my wife and she was using the hell out of him. I almost feel sorry for the guy. So, since there's a gag order on the subpoena, Emily and John aren't going to know that we have these records until we blindside them with them either in negotiations or in the discovery process. I was wrong about them being notified. I misinterpreted what my attorney said. Emily does have an attorney now. Her parents are paying for it. Her mom texted me. I asked my lawyer if John could maybe sue me for the credit card charges since I benefited from them, and she said that even though this is America and anyone can sue anyone else for anything, he would have a ridiculously small chance of winning in court and no lawyer worth their salt would go after me. I went to my office Thursday and Friday for some in-person meetings. I ate lunch at my desk and the new guy went out to eat. He came back and told me there was a total smoke show waiting for me just outside the building. Some of my colleagues were like, really? And got up to look. I told him I wasn't interested in seeing her, and he looked at me like I was crazy. I didn't go down to look at her, but the fact that the new guy called her a total smoke show tells me that she went full on glam. How did she know I was there? Has she been showing up regularly or something? I'm usually not in the building. That's what all of us girls do. When we know we're gonna see our ex, we look to the nines, baby. We gotta show them what they're missing. Mini update. Emily's attorney reached out to my attorney today, and we have scheduled a preliminary negotiation for next Wednesday. My attorney said I didn't have to be there. I asked if this is where we blindside her with the credit card records, and she said yes. So I want to be there, and so do I. And you can too in the next part of the video, because we will conclude everything in the part 3. This is a long one. Buckle up, just stay classy out there, stay sassy. I'll see ya at the preliminary negotiations.